Welcome everybody to Star Flag Media Gaming. My name's Anthony. Today we're going to be talking about the beginning of the end of IGN. And we're going to get right into the news, all right? So we're going to be reading what the latest bit of news is. So the report coming from the Ziff Davis media is they saw an organic revenue decline by 10% since 2021. And now there's talks about buying out and laying off staff. So really, what does this come down to? Well, the video game industry joined Hollywood. This is my opinion, but also just the market speaking in general. It joined Hollywood and it joined the wokeness of the left, and it hired DEI employees, and they diversified, and they included, and they represented in all shapes and forms the vast minority, and not catered to who the main audience of video gaming is. Now, people out there will scream that 45% of gamers are women, and that is true if you account for mobile games. When you're talking about console and PC games, it's roughly 14% of you ladies out there that join us meatheads in the market. With that said, since 2021 now through 2024, a lot of the marketing is going away. A lot of that marketing dollars that these companies were banking on is going away with the latest in politics and who was elected president. The reality of it is the market has spoken, and wokeness is going broke. There's no money to be made on it. Look at the latest, controversy with Dragon Age. The CEO of Dragon Age doesn't even want to discuss the sales. He doesn't want to say how it's sold on Steam. Let's continue in this report. It says a new report alleges that Ziff Davis, the parent company of IGN, Eurogamer, Rock Paper Shotgun, VG 24/7, Humble, and more, saw its organic revenue decline by 10% since 2021 and is now mass laying off staff from various subsidies or subsidiaries. Again, we've already seen this happen over in Kotaku. Kotaku got rid of almost all of their staff in New York, and that's where they were mainly based off of. There's just not, there's not enough money to go around. Really, the vast minority of the money, the majority of the money goes towards the staff. And really what happened is that gamers, when they go to these publications and they get hit over the head with certain type of agenda, they stop going to those publications, and instead they come to places like me. They come to places like, Spawnwave or RGT85, and they listen to YouTubers who report on the news, because we get the same sources that they get. And for the most part, this channel, I just feed the news as I see it. I might give an opinion at the end, but I read it first and I let you guys form your own opinion about it. It continues. Ex-user Max Tanny reported that Ziff Davis sent out an email at the end of October to its employees, revealing that overall organic revenues have declined by 10% since 2021. And the company then noted that it attempted to offset this decline through strategic acquisitions, but that it still needed to reduce costs. Given the majority of its costs were with its employees, the company was being faced with a difficult decision to reduce headcount. Next, Ziff Davis management offered voluntary buyout programs to employees who may be ready to move on, explore new opportunities, or just take a break. This program provides a payment equal to 4 to 6 months of your base salary based on tenure, plus for the U.S. employees, continued medical benefits under COBRA, which really isn't a continuation of medical benefits. Really, they have to pay for it out of their pockets. It goes on. Numerous individuals across Ziff Davis subsidiaries have announced they have left their respective companies. IGN News director Kat Bailey announced on X, "Well, this is it. Today is my last day at IGN. It's been an incredible ride, and I'll miss everyone so much, especially incredible newsies, Alex, Wes, and Reb. We'll be focusing on I'll be focusing on my pod and personal projects, but open for work too. So basically, if you do like what Miss Bailey was handing out over at IGN all these years, then you can go ahead and follow her in her podcast, and she can give you her woke perspective over there. See, and I have no problem with that. That's exactly where that perspective should have stayed. But when you're considered a game journalist, right? When you're a person who's working for a major corporation, perhaps you should just focus on, giving something a review score based off of the content of the game, and not based off of inclusion. Just because a character is now hitting you over the head saying that they are non-binary, that perhaps now the game's a 9 out of 10. Well, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. IGN senior news editor Alex Stedman announced her departure on Instagram. She wrote, "Announcement time. Next week is my last week at IGN." She added, "My last day at IGN is December 13th. After that, barring a trip to Chicago for the holidays, I'm open to talk work opportunities, both within journalism and potentially outside of it. And will be so much time available, so much more available for lunches. Like ridiculously available. Let's get lunch." That's pretty pathetic. Honestly, listen, I understand losing your job like the next guy. I've lost my job, and it sucks. But at the same time, when you're doing a job, you're just supposed to kind of go there and do what the market dictates, what your audience dictates, what your customers dictate. And when you have a market that is 85%, male oriented, perhaps crapping on that is not a great idea. And now IGN is becoming the latest in this mind hive that is slowly but surely dying. Disney still hasn't gotten it because they still have the money to burn, but a company like Ziff Davis, they do not. They suffer immediately. It's been a short 3 years. Gee, I wonder what happened in the last 3 years. It's almost as if we had 3.5 years of a certain type of politics and a certain type of hitting people over the head and driving things home, and all of a sudden, oh, it's over. Well, I digress, but we continue here. It says, head of game industry.biz, Christopher Dring, announced his departure on X at the beginning of December. A small piece of news: I'm leaving game industry at the end of the month. It's been quite the 8-year journey. I love the industry, I love business media, and I will be back in 2025. Although that will look like it is to be worked out. I've said it before on this channel, and I'll say it again. Fuck GameIndustry.biz. They stole a article from me years ago, back during the Wii, about third parties. And when I went onto their website and pointed it out, they said, "Oh, gee, looks like we did." And then they stopped. They banned me from commenting on their site ever again. I was unable to do so. So fuck GameIndustry.biz. And Christopher Dring, I don't think you were there at the time, because it was only 8 years ago. But yeah. Game Industry Features editor Marie Delisandri announced she was leaving on Blue Sky. If you don't know what Blue Sky is, it's woke Twitter. Bittersweet announcement time. She said it to all 21 reposts and 167 likes. My time at Game Industry will be coming to a close at the end of the year. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. I've done so many incredible things at game industry over the past 5+ years. No, you didn't. You ruined it, and now you've lost your job. That's what you did over the last 5 years. So that's just a little bit. That's just a teeny tiny fraction of what's been going on over at the games industries, as a whole, and game industry media as a whole. Kotaku suffered. Now it's time for all Ziff Davis partners. So IGN being the biggest one. This is the beginning of the end. Now, what's going to happen is, what is Ziff Davis really going to close down? Honestly, looking at the news, yeah, IGN is the big boy out of all of them, right? So it seems like what they'll do is they'll close down all the other small ones first, and IGN will be the last one left. Perhaps they'll consolidate like the major roles and keep staffers that way, but people are going to lose their jobs, and all because they let them have free reign of basically saying and doing what they want and driving a specific agenda home. Kotaku got rid of their comment section, for crying out loud, because they were getting called out on their BS left and right. You know, so now you go to Kotaku and it's barren. It doesn't seem like a lively community. Why? They got rid of the one thing that probably would have saved them, and it was their community, the gamers. So no, you know, they can't survive in this environment. There's probably 40 big outlets left. You know, honestly, this is why I drive home going to places like gonintendo.com. I've never seen a single political stance on there. It's always been just 24/7 news about everything Nintendo. And then for other things, I'll go to Forbes, or you know, I'll try to gather all of the information from all the major publications, and then I will end up consolidating that news and driving it home for you guys here on the channel. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Is this truly the end of IGN? Is this the beginning of the end of wokeness in the games industry? I'm really curious to know what you guys think in the comments. Please let me know. As always, I'd like to thank you guys for being here. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. It means a lot. We're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of 2025. We're about 3.5 in. If you do that, it'd be a great help to us. We might even hold some kind of a contest for the 4,000th subscriber. As always, check us out next time here on the channel.